What up? What up? What up, everybody? The OKC Thunder are the 2025 NBA champions. Congratulations to the Thunder. Great season. 68 wins. Shea MVP. Finals MVP. Come on. I got to give props. But I am going to get into my thoughts on game 7. And I feel defeated. I feel empty. But I had to get that congratulations out of the way because I'm sad. I'm devastated. And I felt empty because I'm not going to be an unbiased source. I'm going to be biased. I wanted the Pacers to win. Okay? I did. I wanted to see this miracle run, this incredible postseason run they've been on, this entire 2025 year, for it to culminate in a championship. Oh, it would have been amazing. It would have been fantastic. I would have loved it. And I still enjoyed every second of it. But I feel like this game 7 severely diminished my enjoyment for this entire series. All this build up and for it to just be ruined by an Achilles tear. And it's just terrible. Like, I feel so bad for Tyrese Halliburton because he was starting off this game hot, 3 for 4 from 3. He was doing everything right. This game looked like it was going to be a cult classic. He looked like he was going to have his best game of the series. And we got robbed of that. And just seeing him on the ground saying, did it happen? Or like, it happened. It did. Like, it was just heartbreaking to watch. And it literally, like, in my watch party, it just deflated the tone, the energy for the rest of the game. And this is no disrespect to the Thunder. I'm not calling this ring fake. There is no fake rings. Not even the bubble. Yes, some teams have easier paths to a championship. I don't know why we're acting like this Thunder team had an easy path. They were in 2 game 7s against the Nuggets, and the Pacers pushed them. Now, I think in the future, the Thunder may have to address some things, but why are we talking about that now? Let's talk about, they just won a championship. First championship in OKC history, disregarding the Seattle Supersonics championships. This is OKC. And we think about how good OKC has been for 15 years. Think about it. They drafted Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, 3 MVPs, traded for Shea. You can thank Paul George for that. But now let's get into the real game because I have a lot of thoughts on just this. The Pacers play, the Thunder play, the broadcasting of this game I thought was just awful. The officiating as well is just so inconsistent. And I feel that the Thunder, despite them winning this, had some calls that went their way, or the refs are like, there was a call where TJ McConnell's hand just got grabbed. The ref is right in front of him and nothing happens. It just feels like there has to be some consistency here. You should not be able to get away with some of the fouls that Lou Dort, Alex Caruso were doing. Like, it just doesn't make sense, but we'll get to that. So the final score of this game was 103-91. OKC, shout out them again. And I do want to start, obviously, the big thing, this is the biggest what ifs in NBA history, I think, now, is what if Halliburton didn't get injured, played the whole game? We'll never know. Maybe they win, maybe they don't. I think the first half of this game was real good. The Pacers were still fighting. And even hearing some stories, afterwards. But something I liked from the Thunder right out the gate was with Shea specifically, is the pass assistant. Yesterday, or not yesterday, but in game 6, he had, 6, 7 turnovers? He had a lot of turnovers. And he excelled. He did his role perfectly. Yeah, Shea shot 8 for 27 from the field. Not super efficient. 2 for 12 from 3. But hey, 12 assists, and some of those assists came up huge in the 3rd quarter, where they ballooned to a 9-point lead after a close game, where it was, Shea 3, then they got a steal. Chet 3, got a steal. J-Dub 3. Like, I don't know if it was in that specific order, but it was just it killed me as a pace as someone who wanted the Pacers to win. These are none of the Toronto Raptors are my team, y'all. The Toronto Raptors. Uh, Lakers in 5. But, yeah, just great game from Shea. Passing the ball, creating those wide open looks, being a team player. And I want to give a huge shout out to Chet Holmgren. This is easily his best game in this series. He was great defensively. Um, 5 blocks, most ever in a game 7. 18 points, 6 for 8 from the field. Just great stuff. And 1 for 2 from 3. He was shooting 10%. So, him hitting 1 3 is that's more than good enough. And of course, J Dub has been fantastic throughout this series. And today he was good. It took him a little bit of while to kind of heat up and to get going, but that second half was just everybody just started to click for the Thunder. Um, like he ended up with 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, just good stuff. I want to give a big shout out to Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso in that first quarter hit 2 big threes back to back. Plays were set up from them. I like Mark Daigneault's coaching this game. I think it was good. And I'm no expert. But I enjoyed I did not like some of the stuff Rick Carlisle did. And but back to the Thunder, I think defensively this game showed that why this is one of the best defensive teams we've seen, maybe even since the '04 Pistons. Like it's insanity, the defense. Now some of it is a little bit now the defense is that this Thunder team is allowed a little bit more leeway with contact. I mean, more specifically for the labeled kind of hard-nosed defenders, Lou Dort, Alex Caruso. There were a lot of fouls. TJ McConnell, while he was going on his run in the third, EMAP was getting fouled almost every play. He should have had an and one as well. Just it's just inconsistent. I just wish the officiating was consistent. I just wish it wasn't one side. It wasn't favoring one side. I wish it was just I don't know. We need VAR or something. I don't know. But let's get to the Pacers because I couldn't give much more love to this Thunder. You know, congratulations again, 2025 NBA champions, first of many rising to this Thunder team. And this is the worst they're probably going to be. If we think about it from the beginning of the season, this was a great 3-point shooting team. And in the playoffs, they weren't as good as they were. Think about it. In this series, the Thunder shot pretty bad from three. They shot pretty bad today, like 30%. And they won the championship. And nothing can take that away. A ring is a ring. Now let's get to the Pacers. The Pacers is just something that it broke my heart, like I mentioned. And I do want to get into, you know, that first half they did show a lot of heart. Obviously, with that Halliburton injury, it just really deflated a lot of the Pacers players. We heard Obi Toppin say at the end of the game that like he was that affected, and I'm sure it affected many others. And I got to give a big shout out to T.J. McConnell in that third quarter. He was the only source of offense. Yes, he had 7 turnovers, but he was the only one doing something. He was the only one creating his own shot. He was getting good looks and he was making them. And at this time in the third quarter, when the Thunder went on that 9-0 run that I mentioned earlier and continued, obviously we're going to get to that Lou Dort nuke. That when Lou Dort hit that, I knew it was like, yeah, it's the Pacers are not winning this. If Lou Dort hits a near logo 3 end of the shot clock, it's over. Like it's done. Um, but yeah, I didn't like how long Pascal sat out for in the third quarter. I think like when I saw Ben Shepherd come in, that should have been Pascal. Like Pascal had 37 minutes. He is the arguably the best player on this team. Arguably. I don't know why he only ended up with 13 field goal attempts. Why it took him for so long to get back in the third after TJ cut it to like 4. Pascal should have played like the entire second half. They should have pulled a Lakers. They just play the starting lineup the entire second half. and I don't know why they didn't do that. What the decision making there was. But shout out TJ McConnell, you know, and shout out BMAP. Benedict Mathurin just gave a lot of fight in that 4th quarter as well. Yeah, he was doing exactly like BMAF. He's only his 3rd year, and I think BMAF is going to be a next year, especially, is going to be the year that he's going to have to make a jump. Because Tyrese Halliburton's going to be out all of next season, most likely, unless they make. I don't even think even if they do make the playoffs, they have to get to probably the 2nd round or something. But BMAF, shout out BMAF, man. A lot of heart, a lot of fight. And what's a crazy stat is Aaron Nesmith, Obi Toppin, and Miles Turner had the same amount of points as Tyrese Halliburton, who only played 7 minutes. It's just ridiculous. And I know Obi Toppin said, but you gotta move past it. You gotta. And Miles Turner, man. Miles Turner was just such a disappointment this series, man. He averaged 4 rebounds. You're 7 feet, 4 rebounds. You're supposed to be a stretch 5 big. And there was you didn't stretch the floor at all. I'll give Miles Turner had great defensive moments in this series, brilliance, but it was diminished by his lack of offense. And now the Pacers are in a weird situation where after he had this not I don't want to say terrible, but it's just not a great final series. You got to go into the luxury tax to pay him, to keep him. If I'm a Pacers fan, I'm seriously considering the future of Miles Turner, because I believe you need a center who can rebound. And the Thunder had 2. Chet, who could rebound, Isaiah Hartenstein, who could also rebound. So it's tough. It's complicated, and I don't know, it's ugly. It was an ugly, ugly series. But yeah, shout out Andrew Nembhard as well. At least the Pacers, they kept fighting. They didn't give up. They didn't step their foot off the gas. They were fighting till the bitter, very, very end of this game. And unfortunately, the sloppy turnovers in the 3rd quarter by TJ, by a whole bunch of other players, just led to the downfall and OKC winning the championship. And, I want to give a lot of love to this Pacers team because I wanted them to win. I was a believer. And this is one of the greatest playoff runs they've had. And it sucks. It sucks for this to have ended this way. This is the worst possible ending. I would have rather had a blowout by OKC, but with Halliburton being healthy. But no, we didn't get that. And it sucks. It's terrible. But once again, shout out OKC. Loved what they did today. And they got the job done, man. You have to work with something that benefits you or something that doesn't. You never know what's going to happen in a game 7. Anything can happen. Unfortunately, this was not in the Pacers' favor, but what can you do? You got to keep playing on, and the Thunder did, and the Thunder won. And congratulations to the OKC Thunder again. This team is going to be scary for years to come. But now let's get to the broadcasting of this game, because I haven't heard too many people talk about this, and maybe it's just me, but I hated the broadcasting, this series and this game specifically. Why did we need to show Halliburton's injury, his Achilles popping? It felt like 50 times. Why? I didn't need to keep seeing this because it just kept bringing my mood down. Why are we showing this? Yes, it's a very important highlight of the game, but why are we not talking about different stuff in game 7 of what actually needs to happen instead of being and showing lower leg not returning? Really? He's not returning? Now, I understand showing it a few times for people who may be tuning into the game late, but it's just it just sucks. It just makes me sad, man, seeing it over and over. And just seeing all these commercials, I don't like the amount of commercials there are in the NBA, especially in a finals game. I feel like should more time not be allocated to the presentation? Now, shout out, they did do the American anthem. I'm Canadian, but that was so cool. Regardless, really did help. You know, the presentation, but ESPN needs to be better with this. This is the NBA Finals, prestigious, the highest of the highs, and I feel like commercials should be cut because I want to see the game. I want to see people talking about the game. This is the NBA Finals. Why is halftime like 2 minutes and 5 minutes of commercials, man? Like it's the same commercials over and over and over. It's just it felt like I was in purgatory with that, the questionable officiating, and just I'm not even I didn't really like RJ Doris Burke, you know, commentating. When I didn't like when Mike Breen said bang after a Lou Dort three, man. Like, uh Lou Dort. Maybe that's just me though. I don't know if it's just me. What did you guys think about the broadcast? Did you like it? I've said my thoughts on it. I don't really know what was going on there or why certain stuff was shown like over and over and over. Um, I just don't like how the product is being presented and the lack of prestige. Like guys, do you remember in like game 3 or like what was it, game 2 or 3, they had the the finals, like the championship on the court like digitally, like that's like the trophy, like that's uh ESPN gotta be better. ESPN has to be better. So hopefully they are. Probably not, but but I want to thank the Pacers and the Thunder for giving us a great series. Unfortunately, it had a pretty bitter end. Not a great ending, unfortunately. Shout out to the Thunder, but it's just I wish we got it like a full complete series between these two teams without anybody getting injured. It sucks, but it's a part of the game. And what's a crazy stat? Tatum, Dame, and Halliburton all wear number 0 and tore their Achilles. Like, is that not a crazy stat? Um, but yeah, it sucks. But I enjoyed this series. I want to thank them for a wonderful postseason. This was one of the funnest postseasons I've watched in a long time between both these teams. And I'm excited for the future. The East is wide open right now. Think about it. The Celtics are going to be down. The Pacers are going to be down. The um, what? The Bucks are going to be down. Because Dame's injured, Tatum's injured, Halliburton's injured. The East is wide open for a team like the Cavs to actually make a finals run. The Knicks, this could be the Knicks year. Cavs, Knicks, even the Magic now after they traded for Desmond Bain. It's wide open and anything can happen. And I'm excited. I just wish we got the full Halliburton game because it looked like it was going to be a banger. And shout out the Thunder, man. It was funny seeing them like post game of the I Heart, like the baby, get Shea helping them lift the head up, and it was a fantastic stuff. And then struggling to pop the champagne bottles. It's just congratulations to the Thunder. You deserve this. People are going to call it a fake ring. People are going to diminish this ring, but it is a real. Every championship is real. And it feels like every championship over the last 10 years has an asterisk behind it. Bubble has an asterisk. Bucks have an asterisk because, KD's foot went on the line. Kyrie injured. James Harden injured. Warriors. Actually, I don't know if that one does that one really have an asterisk? I don't know. Celtics. It was an easy path to the finals. Nuggets. It was an easy path to the finals. They didn't verse any. They didn't verse any team above 500 in the West. Or in the East as well. It was, and then what the Yeah, it's like I hate the discussion around ring culture, around rings that don't count. I don't know if it's just me, but hey. Anyways, well, you guys, this is Zach. Radine is not here with us today, or I should have said that at the beginning, but yeah, if you guys enjoy, if you guys like to hear me talk more basketball, please let me know. Please leave some comments down below. I'd be more than happy to respond to your comments. As always, this has been Too Locked In. Um, you know, as always, I'm too locked. Or what was the saying I had? As always, Stay locked in because we are too locked in. Yeah, yep. Okay, that works. The camera quality can get better, by the way. But as always, love the game. We got the draft coming up soon. But thank you guys, and yeah, take care. Peace.